Hey guys, I am super excited to be coming back to you with another episode of the Speakeasy podcast where we go behind the scenes and talking about what it means to be the successfully paid speaker or author. I am your host, Altavis Pelzer, the voice coach. That part, guys, not just that. I'm super excited about our guest today. Okay, so I okay, I won't say I stalk her, but I can tell you that I definitely love her story and have been following her for quite some time. So it's an absolute joy for me to have her on the show today. But not just that, we're about to get deep down into some things because what I've seen her be able to do is really fight off a lot of the things that would hold most people hostage from being successful. That part, sometimes we have to go back and reevaluate some things, and that's okay. But having that bounce back effect, there's something really to that. And so I'm super excited. Hello, Tamika. How are you?
Hey, babe. I'm good. How are you?
Oh my goodness, I'm super excited.
Lord, here we go.
So I am excited to have you on as the guest today. Tell our studio audience a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to dive into today's topic.
Oh, wow. So a little bit about me is I like to look at myself like I'm just a regular girl that refuses to live a normal life or like a routine life. I despise normalcy, so I've always aspired to bring the pictures in my head to life. So I'm a dreamer that dreams out loud. I write books. I write scripts. I produce a lot of different events for Black writers. I've worked with a lot of different writers. I'm legendary or up and coming for over 10 years now. I've written over 17 books myself, published well over 200. And I'm getting ready to tell more stories. And now I have my own original series on podcast, which is now going to be streaming even on Pandora in about a week or so. So I'm excited.
Talk about going all in and doing it beast mode. Absolutely amazing. Congrats on all that you have accomplished so far. But you look right. Let's go back and talk about that beginning piece. Teen mom to CEO.
Mm-hmm.
For many, that's a pipe dream. To be able to come back from having a child in your teenage years to being able to even reach half of the level of success. So in that instance, what would be the top motivational thing that you would say to people who they've had a setback, they've had something happen, and it was unexpected, and now they're just in that space of, what do I do now?
Gotcha. So I like to tell my son is 12 now, and he's becoming a young man. And, I'm trying to help my children understand the accountability, in their choices, or having accountability in their choices. Life is going to happen. Life is a revolving cycle of joys, traumas, grief, all the ups and downs, and the great things and the bad things that come with life. And ultimately, it's about choices and experiences. So you're going to continue to experience these highs and lows in life. And each experience comes with a choice that you're going to have to make. Those choices are going to help you move forward. They can help you move back. Like for me, it's very simple and it's very logic when it comes to my own happiness. If things are happening in your life, not only will things happen again, but are you going to be proactive in this thing? You're going to sit around and mope and be like, oh, this is going on, this has happened, oh, I just lost this person. Granted, I know these things hurt. Like my own mother took her last breath in front of me. So I think I'm very qualified to speak on this type of thing when it comes to, okay, dust yourself off, fight those tears, and then keep going, because you're going to be down again. You're going to cry again. And then what you're going to do, you're going to dust yourself off. You're going to wipe away those tears or let go of that frustration, and you're going to keep going. It's simple. Movement is life. It's simple. When you're not moving, you're dying very, very quickly. Maybe not physically, but mentally. Don't get caught up in that cycle of things happening to you, because it's always going to be the case. You're never going to get out of that. That's my like, there's no advice. Like, either we're going to be proactive in this thing, and we're going to take these punches that life is throwing at us, and we're going to keep it moving, or not.
Exactly. And I think a lot of times we put in too many obstacles ourselves because we want to put too many options in place. As children, we like to think that we control something, and we got some options. That's not necessarily the case.
Yep.
But we find that as adults, it's still not always the case, because some of the things that we think are options, it's not going to move us towards success. So it's not really an option.
Nope. And honestly, I mean, as we get older, we know right and wrong. We understand what that gut feeling is about, and our intuition. At some point, we have to start paying attention to that and be held accountable for our own happiness. No one, and I mean absolutely no one, can make you happy. No one can give you joy. You have to really find that within yourself and be a whole individual that can bring light to any circumstances or any situation. And then whoever you match with or whoever you engage with, you're adding to that light. You're adding to that joy. You're adding to that possibility. But these things and people are not your end all be all. You are a part of that. And I like to express to my children too, like, granted, I get it. We all look different. We all go through our growing phases and our growing pains. But when you look in the mirror, you're staring at the most unique thing in this world. That's a powerful, unique thing. There's only one you. Nobody talks like you. Nobody looks like you. Nobody responds to things like you. No one has your DNA, your fingerprint, your smile, like your voice. Like, come on. You unique. How are you going to utilize this uniqueness? You were created for a reason. So how are you going to make sure that you make some type of impact in this world? And if not an impact, how are you going to make sure that you're at least happy while you're here?
That's interesting, because it takes us right into this next piece of being your own boss and really stepping into what that means, because what you just said is a huge part of being your own boss. You got to understand there's going to be times where I have to be my own motivator. There's going to have to be times where I have to be my own accountability. I got to kick myself in the behind. And if I'm not willing to do that, then am I really willing to be my own boss and be successful?
Honestly, I would have to. Like, you have to be your biggest cheerleader. You have to hold yourself accountable. You have to be pushing yourself the hardest. You only get what you put in. There are talented people everywhere. Like I just said, there's only one you, and then there's only one other person here and one other person there. The people that you meet are just like we're talking now. There's no other person like you and I anywhere in the world. So what are we going to do with that? How are we going to make sure that, we are outliving our best potential and we're being, our very best selves? It's pretty simple. It's really, really simple. You really kind of control that narrative.
Definitely. Controlling that narrative is super important. Now, I want to ask you, 200 plus titles. What did it feel like to get title number 1 out?
Title number 1 was my baby. It was called The Ultimate No-No. It was a book that I wrote 3 weeks after my mother passed. So it was like a therapeutic process. Like, I wanted to just write some drama and just escape. And when I finally put everything into motion, and this has been a dream of mine to to have a book out. I wanted to be a published writer. I wanted to live in Atlanta. And I told my mother when I was 12 that I was going to do this. I didn't see myself doing anything else. And I remember the truck, or the UPS truck, pulled up to my house. I lived in San Antonio at this point, and I'm 21. Yeah, I'm 21. Pulling up to the house. I think I ran down my steps 2 steps at a time, just leaping, trying to get to the front door so I could just hold it. The very first time that I held it, it was a very it was a bittersweet moment, very surreal, because I sat there and I didn't wait for someone to say that I was good enough. I didn't wait for someone to give me a book deal. I didn't wait for someone to open up the door. I did the work, I did the research, and I did it myself. And when I held it, it was like I was holding a baby. It's like a newborn baby. Extremely emotional, extremely proud, but then I was that much more hungrier. The book was in my hand. Now it's time for people to read it. I was booking flights, my very first flight ever got on the plane, and I was booking flights before I actually released the book online to the public. I packed up my own personal inventory, got on the plane for the first time, and flew out to North Carolina to host my own freaking book signing. And I was booking flights every month after that, telling people about my book, excited about my book. Eventually landing my own book deal within 9 months after that book dropped. Just from talking to people, just from getting on people's nerves. I was annoying. Like, I was posting all day, every day online. I was at everybody's event. I was trying to talk, shake hands. And then my book cover was even ugly back then. I didn't even have to, like, rebrand and all of that. But I didn't care. I wanted everybody to know that this book was out, talk about it. It's good drama, et cetera, et cetera. And it really opened up so many doors for me.
Now you just hit on a nerve right there, because so many people come into the industry thinking that, oh, I can just show up online and I'll be successful. I'll be the overnight success, and somebody's going to give my book to Oprah, and I'm going to be on Oprah's book list. And what you just hit on was, no, you got to get out there, kiss some babies, shake some hands, and do the work.
And not only that, people, it's like, and I see this from even writers who have a publisher. They really sit back and expect for people to make their book successful. And I like to use this analogy when it comes to your book. Your publisher is like your doctor. Your book is your baby, and you're pregnant with this book. What does your doctor do? You go to your well check. They check the heartbeat. They make sure the baby is growing. They make sure the baby is healthy. That's the same thing that your publisher does for your book. Make sure that, it's presentable, it's edited, it's ready for market. But then what happens when the baby is born? The doctor hands you your baby, and you begin to breastfeed, birth it, whatever the case may be. You begin to bond with your child, and then you take your child home, because the doctor's job is to make sure the baby gets here and it's healthy, and now it's up to you to lead the rest of the way. Now, granted, you can ask the doctor, hey, what am I supposed to do here? Or if the baby has, a fever, you take it back to the hospital. You make sure the baby get back healthy. These are the same things that you implement when it comes to any product that you're pushing. You are bound and you are locked in with this product to make sure that this product is successful. And if it fails, it's really nobody else's reasons why it failed or not, other than yourself. And I don't care who your publisher is, especially if you ain't really did nothing, especially if you didn't pick up the phone and advocate for your damn self. Why wouldn't you tell everybody and their mama about your own book? Why wouldn't you set up your own tour in addition to what your publisher or your publicist or whoever is doing for you? Why wouldn't you? For me, that's just logic. I'm not, even if I'm paying somebody for a service, I'm also going to do my part, because I'm going to get there even faster if I work alongside with them. I never understood when writers try to point blame at somebody else other than themselves. And all they did was sit their ass on social media and utilize their thumbs to share a generic link about their book. That is not effective marketing, and that's not how you're going to build a fan base. Everybody and mama is putting out a book right now. That means there's opportunities for everybody and mama to post online. How are you going to stand out from the rest? I don't even know if I answered your question, but I really want to say that to all the new writers out there, please don't do that.
You answered it 100%, because that's what it is. Is that we're in a time and age where social media is a powerful tool, but it is only one tool.
It's only one tool.
It's only one.
A tool, not the tool.
Oh, yes. Exactly. And so getting into that mindset early on allows you to not, let's just be honest about it. People are lazy.
Yep.
I want the most for the least.
Yep. And not only that, I mean, all of us dream. All of us have these ideas and things in our head that we want to come true. And I had to learn the hard way, especially with my own publishing company. I was so aggressive and hungry with my own book that it really opened up the door for opportunists or other artists to see and be like, "Ooh, wait a minute, Tamika did that for her book. Let me see if she can do the same for my book." And I ended up publishing a lot of books by writers who did nothing. So I know this firsthand on trying to get writers to understand, excuse me, what are you doing? Why are you not doing hosting book signings? Why are the only events that are happening for your book is things that me and my company book? What is really going on? And you'll be surprised that the most engagement or the most passion that I see from writers is when they get their royalty checks in as little. And then they want to say, "Where my money at?" And I'm like, well, what is the work that you contributed to make sure this book is successful? You can't get mad when a check is low and you've done nothing. I'm really confused. I'm gonna just do better.
That whole mindset of being reactive instead of being proactive.
Mhm. Yep.
I love it though. I love the energy that you're bringing today, simply because for someone who has been doing it at the level that you've been doing it, this is what people need to hear. This is the smack. This is, for me, I always talk about, you have those moments where it's like a mom pluck to your head. You got the mom pluck. Everybody know that mom pluck. This is the mom pluck to their head for them to be able to say, okay, that's not going to work. What I'm doing isn't working. So now I need a real strategy when it comes to marketing this book.
Yep. And I like how you said strategy. Because come on, folks, we know you got a book. We know that, or let's go tap into the film. We know you got a film out. We know you got this new product that's going on. But so do a whole bunch of other people. So what is the strategy and the approach that you're going to put forth to make sure that what you're doing works? What are you paying attention to how you post? Are you paying attention to the people that are engaging with your post? Do you even know who your audience is? And if you know who your audience is, how are you talking to them? Are they receiving what they're doing? Like, what events do you have set up that make sense for your product or for your book? Like, what strategy are you really set for versus going on your social media pages and posting these same old boring ass links to people that already know you? And these are the last people that's about to purchase anything from you. Like, people that know you are normally the last people to support. Family be the last one. They be like, "Ooh, hook me up. Ooh, well, give me a copy so I can tell somebody." No, you can buy a copy. What's going on? So I just want people to really process this logically when you really begin to put out any type of project. What is the strategy that you're going to set forth? What is the goal here? Obviously, we want to make money. How are you going to do that? And I know you've heard it takes money to make money. Don't be sitting here pinching dollars, and then you want to turn around and have this big ass check. I just don't understand. It's gonna add up.
Hit the nail on the head with that one, because you sure enough see. Woo, I've heard so many people that, again, you see other people doing it and you're like, oh, well, they said this, and I'm gonna take a little bit from here and a little bit. No, what's the strategy that's gonna work for you? I'm excited that you've been able to find a strategy that works for Tamika. I'm excited that I've been able to find a strategy that works for Alto Vise. But it did not come at an easy cost. And so one of the things I always ask everyone that comes on is, in this journey, what has been a blunder for you that you can look back now and say, that wasn't the best choice or idea?
My whole thing is, a part of my existence is I love acts of service. I love doing things for people. And not in the sense where I'm just freely just doing things. I'm just giving away parts of me, but I like to help people believe in themselves. I like to push the envelope and take away the excuses. And because I like to do those things, that has led me to create platforms like Black Writers Weekend and create AA NBC Literary Awards and and then have my publishing company where I'm able to work with all of these different writers. But at the end of the day, when it comes to understanding your purpose and also implementing those steps, you have to really dive into what is really going to work for you. How are you going to make sure that these strategies and these key points and the relationship that you're building, that they're going to work for you by trial and error? And my biggest thing that I regret, not necessarily regret, is I didn't finish eating. So let me explain this in a nutshell. A lot of people, because this is a part of me, I found myself eating at a table or being in a position, and I'm using these metaphors, where I could bring other people along. But I didn't finish my plate, or I didn't even learn the recipe fully for myself before I started bringing other people on. And so I wasn't fully grown or fully developed as my own artist before I started saying, okay, people, y'all come on with me. I think it's okay for artists to have to be selfish in their journey. Take care of you first. You eat first. You follow your dreams and things that you want to do first. And then when you get there and you're comfortable enough, by all means, come back, share the main stage that you have. But it's not a necessity. I always hate when I see people on social media, just going in on celebrities who they feel should come back and save the poor Black people. I don't like that. That's really not up for them to come back and be like, okay, well, you didn't go to college. You've never pursued any of your dreams and goals. You constantly, apply for government assistance. You be faithful with that. But let me go ahead and take my hard-earned money and all the time I've taken and invested in myself and help you get one up so I can still be down with the Black. That's stupid to me. I think that at the end of the day, when you have really created a platform for yourself and you're fully grown and you're flourishing, then you can come back, you can throw some bones to people or opportunities or create these programs and opportunities for people to invest in themselves, for them to get a little closer to their dreams. But don't do that prematurely. Definitely stick and focus on yourself and enjoy your own journey. That is my biggest regret in my own personal career.
So I resonated with all of that as the person that's always the pusher and motivator for other people, not wanting to see somebody else struggle. Even if I have a little bit, wanting to be able to give that little bit so that way they're not struggling worse than what I am. And understanding that it's killing people. It's killing their dreams. It's killing relationships because you're giving them something that they weren't meant to have. So it's becoming a poison.
Yep. And then people don't appreciate it. They really don't. And then I had to start holding myself accountable. And I did this with some of my family members because I could be so strong and I could be such a motivator. And, and people, they know to come to me when they're ready to hear what they really don't want to hear. And I had to start saying no or putting my foot down with a lot of my close friends and family because I was crippling their growth. If you're always there to one up or help somebody, up or, and bail them out, how are they ever going to fly on their own? Granted, they're going to talk shit about you. They're going to say that you think you all that. They're going to get upset because you're not making it easier for them, and that's totally fine. You got to be all right with people not liking you. You have to be all right with sitting by yourself because people will definitely try to manipulate you into doing whatever it is that they want. That's fine. Let them be mad, and you keep on loving them the hard way. They're going to appreciate it because when they really get to that point and they earn it, if they appreciate it way more, and not only that, they're going to hold on to it because they earned it.
And that feeling that you had, it's interesting because it brought us right back full circle. that feeling of having that first book in your hand is going to be the same feeling of having that first time you get paid by a client. It's the first time that you get on that stage and get the mic in your hand. There's no feeling like it. And so I can bring you on my journey, but it's not until you've really worked to get that experience for yourself that you're really going to understand it fully.
Yep. And you have to get the experience. You got to cry. You got to struggle. You got to feel like your back is up against the wall. I always say that, and I think it's not me that came up with this saying, but I like to say that success is not in your comfort zone. Nobody really ever gets to, their goals by sitting comfortable or just waiting for an opportunity to fall in their lap. It's going to take a lot of investing your time, your money, your mental space. And also, this is why every week here in Atlanta, I host a creative wellness gathering where we talk about vulnerable topics or personal topics to help creatives be able to express themselves. Also, it's therapeutic, and it helps them tap into their emotions when it comes to creating. Oftentimes, entrepreneurs, creatives, those in between, we forget about our mental health. We're sitting here and we're focused on our task list, our to-do list, our business plan. Okay, let me get my budget to get over here. But then everything that falls in line when it comes to your mental health, the sacrifices you have to make, trying to get your family to understand, not being able to pay a bill this month because you want to be able to invest into this and to invest into that. It takes a lot of mental strength to go about this journey. Pursuing your dreams, entrepreneurship, these are one of the hardest tasks and things that you could ever take on in life. I promise you, this is why majority of the world lives a simple life. This is why the majority of the world goes to work. They get their, they get their paychecks, every couple of weeks or so, and there's that security. Because I promise you, not having a secure place of income, not having being where you want to be in life and not having that fulfillment, that's the worst thing in the world. But I promise you, once you get there, and I've been there, done it, got that T-shirt and climbing to new levels, I promise you, it is not only is it worth it, it's so fulfilling. You walk or it's a different type of joy. It's a different type of completeness. And for me, I'm trying to live my life to the fullest. And I love to just create and design my own day. I want to get up when I want to. I want to catch a plane when I want to. I want to love who I want to. I want to dine out if I want to. I want to stay in the house if I want to do what I want to, which is why I haven't worked a job since I was 23. I hate it. I hate routines. But there were sacrifices to get there.
This episode is turning into one of my favorites.
Ooh.
Sorry, not sorry to all of the 200 plus episodes I've done before this.
You gotta go ahead and throw out your stats.
But this has been absolutely amazing, simply because, again, knowing when you know the flip side of it and you've been through the heartache, the pain of trying to figure it out, looking at the light bill, looking at the food, and saying, okay, where's the sacrifice going to come from? And saying, but this dream is bigger than me. It's bigger. And so I really want to make this happen. I got to put my all into making this happen. And people around you sometimes look at you with the side eye like, okay.
Yep. They're looking at you because why would you? I like to say that when you even go and look at some of our most historical, most famous inventors or people they call a genius, they called them crazy. Nobody really understood them. They were all categorized as crazy or cuckoo. And they weren't crazy. They were just misunderstood, or their brain functioned way faster or differently than the majority of the world. And to be honest, going down this path, people are not going to understand. And it's really not meant for other people to understand. But I promise you're going to come across people that's going to talk shit. They're going to try to discourage you. They're going to try to make it seem like it's a dumb idea. Why are you doing this? They're going to challenge you. And that's when, for me, it determines on what you're doing this for. If you're doing this for a quick buck, I promise you're not going to last. Because going this route, pursuing dreams, that's not a quick turnaround for money. You're not going to last at all. But if you can endure these things, if you can endure the mental strength that it's going to take to go about this journey, that's more than half of the task that it needs to be successful, because we need our brain. Our heart can pump blood through our body all day, every day, but without a brain, we do not function, and that's in real life. Even when you look at these zombie movies and things like that, they dead, but their brains are still functioning. How do you kill them? You kill them by attacking their brain, by shooting them right there in the head. So if your brain is not functioning, if you're not taking care of your mind and your spirit, everything else will fail. Take care of yourself first.
You guys heard it. You heard it from Tamika's mouth. Now, I don't want you coming back to me and saying, "Well, no, but is she really sure?" No, she's sure.
Oh, I'm very sure.
She got receipts, guys. She got receipts.
10
She's
years
sure.
deep into this thing. And I still be saying I want to quit, or I'm tired, or whatever the case can be. But every year I go into the new year with a new focus, a new agenda, a new project, and it recharges my passion. It creates new cash flow. And I just keep going just to make sure I'm designing the life that I want, because at the end of the day, I'm going to die just like everybody else. And when I am gone, I'll be checking up the deuces and saying, Tamika did the damn thing. She never set her ass down, and she did everything that she wanted to do.
That's it. Guys, again, this episode has been absolutely phenomenal. Again, if you are in that space where you said, you know what, I'm ready to start writing, I'm ready for a real strategy, not just I'm not ready for just a freemium. This is not for the freemium people. This is not for I'm looking for something in the $10 range people. But if you're looking for a real strategy from someone who has been successful multiple times, from someone who is not just online showing up, but who is showing up in person, and they're the same person online that they are in person, then you definitely want to connect with Tamika. Let them know how they can reach out to you and how they can find your books as well.
Yes, so my name is spelled with an I, so there's Tamika, and my last name is Newhouse, like I bought a new house. Put that all together, TamikaNewhouse.com, Tamika Newhouse on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, I'm Boss Lady Tamika. And in my podcast, you can find it streaming on any platform, and the podcast name is called Traces of Mika. And it kind of plays on the album by Escape, Traces of My Lipstick, or Jill Scott's first album, My Name is Jill Scott. So it's a unscripted podcast, and I like to call it a memoir pod. And so versus me writing an actual memoir or detailing my life, I did it via unscripted conversations. You hear young Mika on there when I was about 10, so you hear skits of myself when I was a young child. You also hear skits of myself with friends and former lovers, my children. It's one of my most favorable projects I've ever put together. And also, all of my books are listed on my website or on Amazon. I have a book that'll be dropping this month called Sugar Hill. It's my 17th romance novel, and you can pre-order that on my website, which is TamikaNewhouse.com. And any writer that's, wanting to connect with other writers, you want to attend Black Writers Weekend here in Atlanta. We host it every summer. Go to blackwritersweekend.com. You can go to theaambcawards.com, or go to aambc.org, and that will reroute you to all of my subsidiaries, all of my different brands and companies. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. So I think I gave out enough.
You gave out more than enough. Guys, this is why the Speakeasy podcast platform is here, because I want you to get the behind the scenes. I want you to get people that are, wig off, makeup off, that are going to come and talk to you as real can be, as if you were sitting at the table with them, because that's where real conversations happen. That's where you find out the real information. And honestly, that's when you get the tough talk sometimes that are going to shift your mindset for you to be successful. So guys, let me know how this particular episode resonated with you. Leave us a review over on Apple Podcasts by going to bit.ly/. Speak Easy podcast show, all lowercase. We definitely want to hear your review of everything that Tamika just laid out and put down for you guys, for you to be successful. Not just that, guys. I appreciate you as your host, out to these Pelzer, the voice coach. With that being said, until next time, don't forget to press it out. See ya.
Ow.